Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Man, I'd like to welcome y'all to Talk That Talk 254. Minister host, Jesus Hawthorne. Man, today, boy, we got blessed with another banger. We got another bang out here. Man, I'd like to introduce y'all to the owner, Leroy Clark, from Clark's Boxing. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I have no complaints, none whatsoever, man. Hey, man, first of all, I'd like to say, man, it's an honor and a privilege to actually have you on the show. But what we want to do, man, we go ahead and get straight to it, man, because a lot of people got a lot of questions, man, because they sit back on the sidelines. I know you see people watching you. They sit back on the
Yeah,
sidelines, and there's a few things they definitely would like to know, man.
for sure,
So,
for sure.
first and foremost, who are your parents and your siblings, if you have any, and exactly where are y'all from?
My parents' name is Leroy and Linda Clark. My mom is from Chicago. Dad is from Mississippi. I have four brothers. One is deceased, unfortunately. Oldest brother is Patrick Clark. Then we have Cass Clark. Then Michael Clark and Tyrone Clark, and I'm the baby.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you grew up in a tough situation, boy. The baby
Yeah,
boy, I
yeah,
already know how that go.
for
So
sure, for
from
sure.
Chicago to Mississippi, how did y'all get to Texas?
Well, Texas, man, for me, Texas was a God thing. Um, I went to prison when I was 18. Made a couple bad choices in life. Ended up in prison with a 7 year sentence. Then I got out. I did 3 years and 8 months. I got out, and then I went right back because I still was a knucklehead. But this time, all my earned good time, I ended up losing it. So I went from having 9 months to 2 years and 9 months mandatory that I had to serve, and I had a pending charge on top of that. So that means, once I'm finished my time, I would have to go back to Simpson County and face that charge. So
Mm.
2 months prior to me getting out, in the prison system, we had cell phones or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I ended up getting on the chat line, and I met a female from Texas. And female was just real adamant about coming to get me from Mississippi prison. And the female didn't know me or nothing like that. So, but I told the female that I had the pending case. So, and I had 7 felonies. So in Mississippi, after 3 felonies, you fall in the habitual law. So you'll
Yeah.
end up either getting a mandatory sentence, or you're going to get a life sentence. And most likely, I would have got a life sentence. But fast forward, a month for my release, the case manager called me in, and my charge was dismissed. The
Wow.
narcotic agent was on some stuff, and every case he was on had to be dismissed. So that was my first blessing. And then the lady, she ended up driving from Killeen to Mississippi prison door and bringing me to Killeen. Then I ended up meeting my wife 6 months later. I've been with my wife 17 years, man, and it's just been an awesome journey from that point for sure. That's
Boy,
how I got to Texas, man. So I
man,
have
that's all.
no family, no cousin, no nothing here, no military background, no nothing. Just God brought me here for sure.
Man, that's a character building story, man, and it's definitely God in the midst of it, man. That's kind of dope. So, in the midst of your youth, I know you said you had some adversity,
Yes, sir.
but in your youth, were you able to play sports, and if so, which sports did you play?
Yes, sir. I played football. I played football for Brookhaven High School. I played left tackle, and we was undefeated the season I played. We lost in the South State Championship, but had a really good team. But that was the only sport I played, was football. Never didn't do no boxing growing up.
Okay, okay. So okay, but with you definitely being into sports, who are your favorite sports teams and why?
I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I've been a Pittsburgh
Uh
Steelers
oh,
fan all my
Pittsburgh.
life. Yes, sir. Diehard Steelers fan. My whole family, the whole family is Steelers fan. So I just got braided into that. You know what I mean? So we love the Steelers, though, diehard Steelers fans, and we're diehard Chicago Bulls fans for sure.
Okay, so being a Steelers fan, what do you think about your quarterback situation right now, man? What's going on?
Man, I don't know what they're doing. I just think that we're going to hit the market real hard next year. So I just think we're doing something to get through this year, and then next year we're gonna find our franchise quarterback next year for sure.
That go fine. Okay, okay. Well, y'all do got Will Howard back there backing up Aaron, but I
Yeah.
don't understand how y'all passed over Shador for Aaron or Will Howard. But
Well, I will tell you this: we are strong. We are a strong organization, and we have really great principles. So, I believe in those principles. You know what I mean? So we only had
yeah,
3 head coaches. You know what I mean? So, I just think that they know what they're doing. If you know our history, we released some really great receivers that everybody thought was really great, but when they left. They had no, you know what I mean. So I trust the
yeah,
judgment of the team. I just think they just wasn't a fit for the system. Not saying that they're not great guys, but I just think they didn't fit the system that we're trying to implement in Pittsburgh.
hey, you know what, man? That's an excellent answer, man. That's a great answer, man. So, another question. Um, have you ever coached youth sports, and if so, which organization were you associated with?
Yes, sir. I coached for the Kalinko Chiefs. I
Hey,
started out as I coached for them about 7 years, not think I'm not mistaken, and I started as an O line coach.
okay,
And from there, I went to offense coordinator. I did OC for 2 years, and then I left the org just to do my boxing thing, and then I came back as a O line coach again, and then I came back again as a
mhm.
D line coach for sure.
Oh, man, that's dope. So, what made you start coaching?
So man, so actually my son, he was playing basketball, rec
Hmm.
basketball in Lions Park, and I read him Coach Polo. And he was looking at my son, and he was like, "Hey, man, your son look really talented. And, want to get him in football." And I'm like, "Man, you see how big my son is, man. We ain't trying to do no football." You know what I mean? And he was like, "Nah, bring him out there." So we brought him out there, and he started playing. And so I was a parent his first year,
Yeah,
and so I'm real big on the O line. So I was watching the game and didn't see an O line coach. So I'm like,
yeah.
"What's the O line coach? You need an O line coach." And so from that, I reached out to Coach Hall, and he ended up bringing me on as an O line coach, man. And the rest was history.
Man, that's awesome. Man. You probably was the what ignited that, man. What ignited that chief movement, man. That's dope. Because
I was a part of it,
on the
man. I ain't gonna
time
say I ignited it. I
I
was gonna
came
say I was
back
a
to
part
Central.
of it.
I know when I came back to Central Texas in 2017, and I started coaching again in 2020 with Bell County Patriots. And from that point on, one thing used to always impress me was the line play, regardless of the size of the kids. Um, they was fundamentally sound. So even when
Right,
they were playing against kids bigger than them, they knew the proper technique and how to get stuff done. I was extremely impressed with that. So you saying that, I'm like, okay, that you had something to do with that. Okay, man,
for sure, for
that's
sure.
a dope story, man. That's a dope story. Okay, so before you came what was your occupation before you became a full time entrepreneur?
I was a truck driver. I was driving trucks. I've been driving trucks for 10 years.
Oh,
Before I got into boxing.
oh, okay. So with that being said, exactly how did you get into boxing? Because you said you didn't box in your youth. So how did you get into that transition?
Man, so I always was a little bit of history. I was big all my life. Big as a kid, I was like 330 pounds,
Hmm.
and so I would always go to the gym and just lift weights and work out. But one day I was outside and one of my homeboys was running by the house, And I was, man, what you doing? And he was like, man, I'm getting ready to fight. And I'm like, man, you can't fight, man. I put these hands on you. You know, he was just shooting the bull job or whatever, you know. And so he was like, come to the gym. You know, man, and I came down to the
Mhm.
boxing gym, man, and just was very impressed with the workout and how hot it was, and just man, just the coach, you know, and man, I just fell in love with it and I joined, and had been part of the gym ever since, and that was back in 2009 when that happened. So I've been doing
Man,
boxing ever since about 2009.
okay. So, uh, what was the name of your first coach? Like, who was the coach?
Ronnie Hughes, the legend, the one and
Ronnie
only
Hughes.
Ronnie Hughes, man. Yes, sir. Very great coach.
All
Very
right,
great coach.
man, awesome. So, with that being said, um, who was your favorite fighters at that time?
So man, so I really didn't take. I went even into boxing, right? So
Okay.
to be honest, man, I didn't even watch boxing growing up. Wasn't even a thought. Wasn't even in my vision. Wasn't even in my
Yeah.
plan. You know what I mean? Like I say, man, it's all God's will for sure. For me, for what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But uh, my favorite fighter is Holyfield, though, man. I like
Okay.
Evander. I like Evander, man, because to me the most complete fighter. Him, because he never backed down from the challenge. You know what I mean? He fought everybody. So, and he had good skills, good defense, good footwork, good head work. You know, good hook, good jab. You know,
Yeah.
so that was probably my favorite fighter, man, for sure.
All right, man. That's dope.
And my
Now,
coach beat him in the amateurs.
now that's something to talk about, right there, man. Hey, talk about learning from the best. Hey, for somebody to be able to beat, especially in the amateurs, Holyfield was no joke in the
Yes,
amateurs at
sir. Yes,
all.
sir. Yes, sir. He wrote about my coach in his book.
Do that, man. He know exactly.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I lost him.
All right, there you go. Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But I had just spoke on if you had to build uh, the ultimate prize fighter, according to their IQ, foot speed, hand speed, defense, power, and head movement. Like who would you put in per category?
Uh, Man, to be honest, it's only one
Yeah,
fighter, man, that probably I would say would have all those attributes, man. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And and I
Now,
want to, and I'm only going to put him there because ain't no other fighter got those attributes but him, and that's Mayweather. Mayweather
Mayweather.
have, yes, man, he has all those attributes, man. So,
Yeah,
that's that guy, man. He fits the whole criteria for all of those attributes, man. No other fighter, in my opinion, um,
yeah.
can do what he do in the ring, for sure.
Oh, all right. So of late, I'm glad you said that because it kind of rolls me into this question. Of late, a lot of people have been saying if in a prime that Bud Crawford could potentially be a prime Floyd Mayweather. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree.
You
He
disagree.
can't. Yes, not at 47.
Not
You
at
know, it
first.
all
Okay.
depends on the weight. You know,
Yeah.
but if they fighting at 47, Floyd he gonna beat him.
You
You
go
know, he's
be
too smart.
okay.
Too smart. You know, he's smart in the ring. His IQ's, is too good, and he know how to use his whole body. You know,
Hmm.
to win the fight. You know, he's not just in there just working off the jab. You know, everything's working: the hands, the feet. You know, the
Yep.
movement, the elbows. You know, the
Yep.
blocking the punches up. You know, it's a lot going into what he does that a lot of people don't understand. They just watch it on the outside. You know, but me
Yep.
as a coach, I truly understand what he's doing in there. You know, he's frustrating the fighter. You know, he's hitting him in the body. He's jabbing to the body. You know, you really don't even know where the shot's coming from. You know, and the defense is superb. You know what I mean? So,
Superb.
Yeah,
That Philly
superb.
shell. He took his
Yeah,
daddy Philly shell and took it to a whole nother level, man.
yeah, he
I don't even
mastered it.
think I think it's his Philly shell better than Bernard Hopkins. And next to his father, I thought Bernard had the best Philly shell, but nah. I agree with you. I think Mayweather is on a whole different level. So especially the way he used it, how his counters like automatically flow. Like he already
Oh yeah,
expecting what you're
great,
about to throw, and he throwing right behind you. Like as soon as you
great
throw, it's
counter
right
punch.
behind you. Yeah, great
He's
counterpunch.
the whole complete fighter. You know, he can
Yeah,
box, he can brawl. You know, he got it all. You know what I mean? You know, you got some fighters have some things. You know, Mayweather got everything. You know what I mean? So, and then you know his work ethic proves what he is. You know, so a lot of people don't realize that too. You know, the work that goes into being great as a boxer. You know, I tell my guys all the time. You know, I'm 44. You know, when I
mm,
get in there with my guys and I'm doing 13, 14 rounds and I'm sparring
yeah,
17, 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, you know, and I'm telling them like, you got to pick your game up, because, if I'm able
yeah.
to do this to you, what you think the guy you're going to be fighting doing, so you got to pick the trainer up. But no, his work ethic is superb for sure.
You gotta. Hey man, I gotta commend you for that, man. That's a bar right there, man. A gentleman 44 years old, say he's sparring 13 or 14 rounds against 17, 18-year-olds. Hey man, that's a bar. Hey man, you gotta tip your hat to that, boy. That's some work, man. Staying in the mix like that, man. That's big.
Yeah.
Uh, but I guess my next question is, what motivated you to open up your own gym? You said you went from driving trucks, which is a great occupation, and then so what made you, you know, went from going to the gym, working out to like one day you like, you know what? I think I wanna have my own gym. How did that come happen? How did that come about?
Man, so never thought about it. I never thought about it.
Mm,
Never was in my vision. I thought I was going to retire as a truck driver. Uh, but uh,
yeah.
so through youth football, I met Coach KJ. We used to be talking or whatever,
Hmm.
and we was real close and hanging out and kicking it, so he knew I was in the boxing, you know what I mean? And so he knew kind of the story with the gym or whatever when we doing boxing. So one day I was in my truck just driving, and he had something in screenshot showing that the gym I was going to was permanently closed, and so
Mm,
I had reached out to my coach and try to see what was going on because I had been to the gym in about 6, 7 months or maybe longer, but I had reached out and I didn't get a response. I had reached out to see what was going on and maybe I open the gym in the evening time to just give us something to do, and
mm,
just never got a response. And about 3 months later, man, I was driving in my truck and my coach's wife messaged me and she told me that her and Ronnie had talked and they wanted to give me the gym. That Ronnie had
wow.
trained me and taught me everything, and that I was the next man up. And they was gonna give me everything in the gym, and I could hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay. So I was all excited, and I called my wife, told my wife what had happened. We was all excited. So I asked her what I needed to do to get into the building, and she told me to call Mr. Barrett, the owner of the plaza. So I reached out to him, and he just told me to come down, sign the lease. He'll give me the key. So I didn't have to pay no deposit or no first month's rent. I just went and got the key. So we went and got the key and turned the key in the door. My wife was like, "No," because the place was, to be honest, man, it wasn't even fit for a dog to be in.
Oh
It was
wow.
yeah, it was run down really, really bad. So convinced her to do a juice bar inside the gym. And so we ended up doing the juice bar inside the gym, remodeled the gym, man, and we ended up opening the gym, man. And then from that, the guy that owned the whole plaza, seeing what I was doing, man, it was just impressed what I was doing in the back, and it gave me an offer for the whole plaza, man. We ended up buying the whole plaza, and end up moving the gym to the front, man. For we went from like 1,500 square foot to about 6,000 square foot gym space.
Wow.
So yeah, man. So yeah, man. The story's crazy, man. But
Man,
guys,
that's dope. Hey, for people that's out there, they may want to know where is the location of the gym? Where are y'all to be found?
we're located at 601 South Second Street, downtown Killeen.
Okay. Hey, I heard it, man. Y'all heard it. Now, not only do you own the gym. You said that you did some boxing and everything like that, man. But I believe you still out there competing. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome. So when was the last time that you compete and what was the turnout?
I just competed 2 weekends ago in a Masters championship tournament. I won the tournament in my weight class. Um, the first fight I won by 4-1 split decision. Second fight I won by second round stoppage.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So currently, what is your record? Your competition record, and when will be the next time you'll be competing?
Man, I'm 2-0 as a master fighter. Hopefully, I'll be competing again in September in New Jersey. Then from that, looking forward to being in Vegas for a big Masters tournament in Vegas in February.
Man, that's dope, man. Good luck to both. Good luck to both. But back to your gym. How many fighters are you currently training?
Right now, man, I have 5 fighters. 3 that are currently fighting. 2 are getting ready for their first fight. And I have a lot of guys that's learning right now, so I don't consider them as fighters right now. They still in the beginning stage. So, but right now I have 5 fighters right now.
And they said out of the 5 fighters, or is those 5, or they're the ones that actually compete in tournaments?
Yeah, I have 3 that's competing in tournaments.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. When will be the next tournament that they will be competing in?
They'll be competing in Houston in July at a national tournament in Houston, Texas.
All right. Now, out of those fighters, do you want to go ahead and name drop some of those people so people need to be on the lookout? You know what I'm saying? So that way they can start potentially gathering some support.
We have Ivan Guzman. Right now he's 12-2.
Okay.
He's a national champion as well. Then we have Christopher Harvey. He's 4-1. He's a state champion. He's won like 2 more tournament belts as well. And then of course we have my son, man, but he's on a break right now. but
Okay.
but he's supposed to start back training on Monday though, man. He's getting ready to get back in the gym, get ready to fight. But he's a national champion as well. And Chris, Ivan, Chris. Yeah, them are my 3 fighters right now. And then I have and Jaden Prescott. I can't forget about him. He's another name too, man. He's going to be a really, really great fighter, man. He's fought 3 times. He's 0-3 right now, but those fights, man, were just like just our learning process, and he just come up on the short end of the stick. But no, man, he's going to be a really, really great fighter. Yeah, he's going to be a really great fighter for sure.
Hey, man, putting that work, the results will come, man.
For sure.
But okay, so the transition, because I know you said at one point in time, you started off as 330-something pounds. You played left tackle. What is your current weight? What is your current weight now? What are you fighting at?
I'm 162. I fight at 165. I kind of walk around at about 162.
Now, listen to this, y'all. He went from 330-something pounds, and he currently now fighting at 162.
Yes.
So that's go transition me to this question right here. Why should somebody choose boxing as a method to reach their weight loss goals?
Because boxing is an overall fitness. It's an overall fitness workout. So you're gonna get a total body workout versus weights. Weights kind of give you a false impression of who you are. You know what I mean? Not saying that weights are not good for the body, but a lot of heavy weights are not good for the body. Because it stretches your muscles out and gets them in the place where you really don't want to be. And then when you get older, you're like, versus when you're in the boxing gym, you're getting that natural screen and that natural, everything you're doing is really natural, so you're helping the body grow naturally instead of having that man-made tool to help you give you that false sense of impression. You hit those weights, and then you get in the mirror like, and then you wake up in the morning, you went back down again already, So boxing is I recommend boxing, man. It's for any type of fitness, mental fitness, man, physical fitness.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good for mental health as well, man. Really, really good.
Okay. So how many days out of the week would you recommend for somebody to actually go in and for those who want to lose weight, how many days out of the week do they need to put in that work?
Actually, it just depends on what your goals are. You know what your goals are. What goals are you trying to attack? But for me, I would recommend 5 days a week at least.
Okay.
The biggest part to the weight loss is the diet.
Mm,
A lot of people miss that point, because uh, our bodies are addicted to the wrong food.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So food is like any other drug. It's an addiction that we
Yeah.
overlook. So it's more or less like, okay, I can eat this meat, and
Hmm.
it's okay for me to eat it because the body wants it. But in actuality, we're not designed to eat that. You know what I mean? And I'm a walking testimony of that. I do it so I can say, well, look at me. I train twice a day. Um, I'm coaching. I'm doing mid-work all day. I eat one meal a day. I eat at 9 o'clock at night. I don't eat no meat. I do fruits and vegetables throughout the day. And I'm 44 years old, and I'll be 45
Yeah.
next month. It's all about studying and understanding your body and what you need to put in your body to make your body be successful. Because you want success in life, but you want success for your body, because if your body's not successful, then you can't be successful in life. You know what I mean? Because you're all broke down. And I tell people all the time, like, man, why is the doctor telling you to get all these tests at this certain age? What do they know that you don't know? That you
Mm,
need to go in and get these tests. You know what I mean? How do you know I'm sick at 40? How you know I'm gonna be sick at 40? So I just try to attack those things for me, man. And so I don't eat no meat. Very, very healthy, man. Very conscious of my body, very conscious of what I put in my body. Because I want to live the life that God has given me to live, for sure.
All right, there you go. You're back. You're back. I don't know
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on. On my, it's definitely on my end. I don't know what, and I'm at the house too. I don't know, something is interfering. But man, you was dropping some great information. I think the last thing you were saying, it was like about you being a vegetarian, and then you spoke on how the doctors and the tests that they were giving, how the doctors know to give you these type of tests at the age of 40.
Right. And so and I'm not a vegan, man. Let me just clarify that. I don't go by a title. I'm just healthy.
Gotcha.
I just prefer to say that I'm healthy. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I just and for me, man, I don't try to put what I'm doing off on people only if they
Mhm.
ask. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I'm more, for me, with my body, it's more biblical. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, if you want to know um, how to treat your body, go to the book of life. And the book of life will
Mm.
show you how you should treat your body. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to be spiritual or nothing, but um, you know, before the flood, we weren't eating that stuff. You know what I mean? And then after the flood, we had the power of choice. God said, okay, so now you choose to do this. You know what I mean? So now I'm just gonna tell you what meat you can't eat, because I'm not gonna eat it anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So sometimes we overlook that stuff and just like, hey, I'm gonna do it anyway because I got the power of choice. Just like if somebody goes to the doctor and he got high blood pressure and he say, hey man, stop eating that pork, and you still gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Just like the American Cancer Society, man, they tell us don't eat these certain meats,
Yeah.
but you go research the meats they tell you to eat, those same meats give you cancer as well. All processed meats are considered a carcinogen one. You know what I mean? So anytime you kill that animal and you don't eat that animal right then, what you think happened to that animal? It becomes processed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's processed meat, so we're not designed to eat that. And I don't try to get in debate with people about that. I just live the life,
Yeah.
and they ask me where I get my protein from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, and it's like, I'm living this, and you got to
Yeah.
think, bro, your stomach is only this big.
Yeah.
So at what point do you have to put 3 meals in your body? And how is breakfast the most important meal of the day when food tires you out and brings you down?
Yeah.
So how can I eat a big old breakfast and go perform my job when I'm all tired and sleepy because I done had this big old breakfast and I'm all full? You know what I mean? So it's a lot goes into that, man. I just tell people to just study. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you know about your body, just study, and it'll help you for sure.
Hey man, you definitely dropping gems. Hey, so for those that's like I said, man, if you motivated trying to lose some weight, and he expressed why, boxing training over weight training, you definitely want to highlight this Leroy Clark gym, man, because he know what he's talking about. Uh, I guess the transition to my next question, next series of questions is have you heard about Fort Hood recently? They starting to host boxing tournaments. Have you heard
Yes,
about that?
yes, sir. So actually, they had reached out to me to be a sponsor, and man, unfortunately, my wife had got sick. She had got sick, and we was in the hospital for like 5 days. So kind of like
Sorry to
lost
hear that.
connection with that. But no, yeah, yes, I heard about it. I will be attending it just to support the
Oh,
fight. And I got a couple of guys that comes here. Just looking forward to being in the next event that they're going to have. So hopefully, we'll be able to sponsor the next event for Fort Hood.
man, that'll be dope. Matter of fact, that it kind of rolls me to the next question. That have you and your wife, once everything becomes better in the household, with her
She's
becoming
well
healthy,
now. Oh, she's well. She's well,
well
man.
now. Okay,
She's
okay,
well. Yeah, she's well, doing real well.
well that's a blessing. Definitely glad to hear that. Have you thought about hosting your own smokers? At a LaClark's gym, out of your gym.
Yes, sir. So I've thought about hosting it, but not in my gym. Just because of the parking and the space wise. Just
Okay,
with a lot of goes into that, man. You have to be approved to USA Boxing.
yeah,
Just having a proper team. You have to have the room and board for the refs. You got to get the doctor, the judges. So right now I just don't have the adequate team to accomplish that mission. But um,
okay,
here in the near future, for sure, we're going to be bringing boxing to Killeen for sure. Putting Killeen on
man.
the map with boxing.
Okay. I guess well, it ain't gonna be the last question, but we moving towards the end. Um, so for those that's, maybe had some fighting background, for those that's interested in boxing, uh, for you, what do you look for in a prospect? Like somebody who's trying to come into your gym and you want to help transition them into a potential fighter. What is it that you're looking for in a prospect?
Accountability.
Mm,
That's for me. Um, just you have to be here.
mm,
Accountability, and then when you get here, the work ethic. We have a saying that say, "I can focus." Boxing is an independent sport, so we have boards like a system. We have a system in here, so when the guys come in, the workouts are already on the board. So I'm watching them when they come in to see what they're doing. Do they come in, look right at the board, get right to the work, or they just moseying around, laxing, So I can kind of tell more or less, who really wants to fight,
yeah,
who don't want to fight, who's asking questions, or who just in here just want to play boxing. You got a lot of guys
right.
want to play boxing, and then you got some because boxing is a physical sport,
Yeah,
and
it is.
I tell guys all the time you gotta be a little bit crazy to get in there. They got somebody beat up on your head, and constantly over and over again, So, but I just try to make sure that they're accountable, man. As long as they're accountable, man, we can train them, you know.
Oh,
And I can if I could do boxing, anybody can. So boxing is not limited to what your like football. You have to be this super talented person or this tall, or this height or this big or this weight. Boxing is all about what you're going to put in. And whatever you put in boxing, and if you put in good benefits, you're going to reap good benefits. If you put in bad benefits, you're going to reap bad benefits for sure in boxing.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And understand that question was directed for those that want to be competing in tournaments like that. Now, that question wasn't for those who just want to go to the gym and lose weight. So I'm saying that for the audience, for those who may be watching this. I guess my last question, man. The big fight is coming up September the 12th.
Yeah,
Bud Crawford versus
yeah,
Canelo.
yeah.
Who, who are your picks and why? What's your pick and why?
Man, so I like both guys, right?
Yeah,
I like both guys, man. I just think whoever has the best night is gonna win the fight. You
it's a
know,
situation of whoever performed that night. So you can
right.
see it going either way. But the guy
Either
who
it's
shows up
it's
ready,
50-50, man, because you know, uh, I don't believe Crawford can knock out Canelo because Triple G couldn't knock out Canelo, and I know Crawford do not hit harder than Triple G for sure.
yeah,
Uh, so I just think if Crawford stays on the outside and box Canelo, he'll win because Canelo's flat-footed, and he
mm,
has to stand on his punches.
yeah,
But if Canelo go in there and come in there a different Canelo, and he's on his feet and he changed his game up, it's gonna be a long night for Crawford because I don't think Crawford can take the power from
for
Canelo.
Canelo.
So if Canelo touches him right, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a long night for the brother. But
Oh
if the
wow.
brother stays outside and box, man, he can outbox him for sure. So it all depends on who has the best night. There's no one dominant fighter in this fight. It's a
Yeah.
50-50 fight for sure.
Man, that's awesome. Hey man, well man, I appreciate you, man. Coming
Yes,
on to
sir.
the show, man, giving us a few minutes of your time. We
Yes,
got
sir.
look, Clark's Gym. Give them the address one more time. Where can they find you?
601 South Second Street, Killeen, Texas. We're downtown. We're right across from Lily Mae's restaurant. If you've ever heard of
All right,
Lily Mae's, we're right across from them.
man. That's awesome, man. Thank you for coming on the show, brother. You have a blessed one, man.
You too. God bless you,
All
brother.
right, all right. Peace.
Take your coaching and training to the next level. My Athlete 360 invites coaches to create professional profiles that showcase their experience and talents to parents seeking their services and organizations all in one platform. Start by downloading My Athlete 360 and selecting Coach Trainer at sign up. Enter your email, create a secure password, and you're ready to build your professional profile. It's that simple to begin your digital journey. Next, add your name, a professional headshot, and contact information. This builds trust with parents and athletes searching for coaches. A polished profile is your first step to standing out in the coaching community. Highlight your coaching specializations and certifications. Add your coaching philosophy and experience details. Parents seek qualified coaches for their athletes' development, and your profile is your chance to shine. The app also features a link tree within the profile that coaches can use to put all of their social media and business website in one place. Remember, your expertise is your selling point. By showcasing your skills and experience, you attract the right athletes and parents who value your unique coaching approach. Set up your training packages, pricing, and availability. My Athlete 360 allows parents to book with trainers and coaches directly through the app, simplifying your business operations. This allows you to focus on developing athletes while the platform handles the rest. Your professional coaching profile is now live. Parents with athletes ready to train and develop can discover you, book your training and coaching services, and communicate directly through the platform. My Athlete 360 handles the business side, so you can focus on what you do best, developing great athletes. Download My Athlete 360 today and elevate your coaching business. Youth organizations with multiple coaches are also encouraged to create profiles. Parents are always actively looking for you. Use the link in the bio to get started. Questions about profile features? Drop them in the comments below. Let's revolutionize your coaching journey together.